He's telling it to you, lady. He's telling it to you. Girl, how many freaking obvious signs do you need? Cope. This is you taking that copium. Here's a question. All right. I am 29. My boyfriend is 33, and we've been together for almost 2 years. We don't live together yet, and we are long distance at the moment. I am a conservative. Okay, so we got two conservatives. So 2 conservatives, 2 liberals. And I would like for us to get married soon. Hopefully we can move in together soon, but I can't move to be with him due to work. His job is strictly travel, so he could definitely move to be with me here. It's just more expensive where I am. He's divorced. He is divorced from his college sweetheart. He was married for 3 years and divorced 5 years ago. We recently talked about marriage, and I know he wants us to live together first before getting engaged. Okay, I support that. And he says he's not resistant to marriage, okay? He's just not ready for it again. Then he's resistant to marriage. He's telling you the truth. Did y'all pick up on that? Hold on. Am I the only one who picked up on that? Let me see. Because this is when I need to check in on the women. They can see what I can see blatant things, and a lot of women can't see it. Did y'all ladies pick up on that? Let me see. Is her boyfriend for or against marriage? All right. Okay. Good job, ladies. Good job. All right. I'm proud of you, ladies. I've taught you well. All right. We recently talked about marriage. I know he wants to live together. Hold on. I missed it. Okay. And he says he's not resistant to marriage. He's just not ready to get married again. I understand, but the red flags for me is that he doesn't really bring up moving in together at all. He actually did mention buying a house where I live, though I know he's not super enthused just due to the fact that the state I live in is more expensive. And regarding marriage, he wants the desire to get married again to come naturally and not feel pressured into it like it's something we do just because of the number of years we've been together, etc. You ain't getting married to this man, girl. This is what I'm saying. When men show themselves to you, believe them, ladies. You guys get all into the feeling, I love him. He wants to get married. I love him. Neil, he don't want to get married. I'll be honest with you, Tree. He says we're on the same page, but I'm not so sure we are. I don't expect to get engaged tomorrow, and that's fine. But, girl, y'all haven't even lived together. But it's been 2 years. And I'm 27 years old, and I want kids. Oh, yeah, you bet. Ooh, you ain't got no time to wait, girl. I want to have kids in the next year. We do have an age difference, not that much of an age difference. When he said he doesn't want to feel pressured just because of the number of years we've been together. This is the type of man who will be with you for 7 years and still say, why mess up a good thing? I mean, we're just acting like we're married. We live together. We share this. You know what I'm saying? What's the difference does a piece of paper make? That's what they always say. What's the difference does a piece of paper make? When he said he doesn't, okay, I'm so sorry. I keep losing my place when I look away. When he says he doesn't want to feel pressure just because of the number of years we've been together, that concerns me, and it makes me think it could be several years until we get engaged. Exactly. It will be several years until you get engaged. He's telling it to you, lady. He's telling it to you. He's telling you what he's not going to marry you, and that if he gets engaged, it's going to be like 7-10 years from now. He's going to put a ring on the finger to shut you up. And even then, you're going to be engaged for what, 20 years? Girl, if you looking to get a baby real soon, he ain't the one. First of all, y'all don't even live together. So you don't even know if he's going to be the kind of man that you're going to want to be in a relationship with. Stop doing these long distance relationships. If you're serious about getting married, stop it. And let's see. That concerns me, and it makes me think it could be several years until we get engaged, not just 1 or 2. And since he's divorced, then what if he decides he doesn't want that? After all, he doesn't. It sounds like that divorce hit him hard, and he's broken. Leave him alone. He don't want marriage. Leave him alone. It's his right to change his mind. He ain't changed his mind, though. He ain't getting married. He's telling you this. But I've made my desires very clear. Then you need to move on. I want this to be an ongoing conversation that doesn't choke me up all the time. that doesn't A, choke me up all the time, or B, make him feel like I'm pressuring him. Don't pressure. He doesn't want marriage. The relationship is over. It's done. Thus pushing him back into his shell. That's not your problem. I said, I think we should go to a premarital counseling, or you should try therapy before we get engaged, which is not to say therapy now, but he don't have the problem though. Hold on. Let me read this paragraph. And because I'm going to defend him actually. I said, I think we should go to premarital counseling, or you should try therapy before we get engaged, which is not to say therapy now, but he's got to explore his marriage issues from his traumatic divorce. No, he doesn't. He has openly stated on other occasions that, well, therapy's not for everyone. Girl, how many freaking obvious signs do you need? Oh, God. But he didn't disagree about the premarital counseling in the future. Here's another one. Cope. He didn't. This is she taking that copium. He didn't say he wasn't against marriage, but he just don't think everybody needs therapy. That doesn't mean he doesn't want to work on his issues. He doesn't want to get married, sweetie. Let him go. First of all, y'all don't even live together, and you all like, ooh, marriage. I want to be respectful of his process. In fact, I really have been this whole time since he wants to live where he lives for a while to get more distance from his life pre-divorce and establish himself a bit more on his own before remarrying. I was in a very long relationship up until 2 years ago. 9 years. Girl! You were in a 9-year relationship? He picked the right one. You were in a 9-year relationship and you didn't even get married. So therefore, you would be in a 20-year relationship with this man and still won't be married. The difference is you ain't gonna have no babies and you ain't gonna have no ring. This man is, you're bad at picking up actually getting the point. This man is telling you in a nutshell he doesn't want to get married, but you are coping and actually twisting reality, and it's crazy. You was in a 9-year relationship. So you have a habit. of choosing men who just don't who just don't want a long term, they don't want marriage, and you delude yourself until time progresses on. So for most of your dating life, that's why you're 27. For most of your dating life, when you was a teenager, you stick with this one guy, and he wasted all of your young adult years on him. And therefore, your replacement is the same thing. So you did not get the commitment with the one for, first of all, girl, 9 years. Come on now. Now, in your defense, you didn't know me back then, but I'd always say, don't you ever be in no long-term relationship as no girlfriend like that. What's wrong with you? So you found another guy who also wants to stay in a relationship, and the fact that he's not there. So here's my thing. I don't understand this need to be with men who don't want to be with you as a husband. Anyway, let me finish reading that. I completely understand, so I'm very cautious of not wanting to pressure him to let him do his process. He doesn't want to get married. I don't want to break up. Well, okay, but you're not going to get married. He's the first person I ever considered marriage and kids with. No, you're only doing that because you're 27. 9 years with my ex, and I only briefly wanted marriage when when we were first together. You probably did, and when you realized he wasn't going to marry you, you let it go. Can anyone change after being in divorce? I really need your advice how to either be more understanding and patient with him, or apply a little bit pressure on him to inspire the conversation of him getting married. He doesn't want to get married. Listen to me. I'm never so sure about anything. Well, I'm sure about a lot of things, but I'm really proven wrong about this. This man has been telling you he don't want marriage. He doesn't even want to get engaged. He doesn't even want to have therapy. He told you therapy is not for everybody. That's just letting you know, hey, therapy ain't for me. And you're sitting here with said, yeah, he said he's not for marriage. He's not for therapy, but he didn't say we couldn't go to marriage counseling. Premarital counseling. Girl, therapy is therapy. You're the kind of person that says, I wanted him to it's like saying, I want to offer him some chocolate. And he says, I don't like chocolate. And then you're like, well, I have some chocolate covered almonds. And you're like, I have some chocolate and some chocolate covered almonds. And he says, I don't like chocolate. And then you go, well, he doesn't like chocolate, but he didn't say anything about the chocolate covered almonds. That's that coping thing. That's that coping thing I keep hearing about. He doesn't want to marry you, sweetie. He doesn't want to marry you. You're not going to have kids by this man. And you don't live together. Here's another thing that the biggest red flag for this relationship. Y'all don't live together. You've been in a long distance relationship for almost 2 years. Do you understand he's always got an out? For close to 2 years, you've been in a relationship, a long distance relationship, and he has yet to move to where you are. And you have yet to move to where he is. Or you both haven't moved to a neutral place together. So it looks like to me that is his Linus blanket. That may be such an old term. Let me just say that's his comfort level, that he can always get what he wants from you by never moving in with you, by never moving in where you are. It doesn't matter if he's looking for houses. That can be putting up with pretenses. He ain't putting no down payment on a house. He didn't hire a realtor, so he ain't serious. So you guys have been close to 2 years. You're supposed to know whether he's going to marry you or not after a year. I told you, ladies, If you don't know after a year, it ain't happening. Men know after being with you for 6 months. That's the real big red flag. The red flag is not the fact that he doesn't want to get married, or he's according to you think the red flag is him not deciding whether he want to get married in the future. That's not the real red flag. The real red flag is he ain't living near you after close to 2 years. Well, let's just go ahead and say 2 years so I can stop saying close to 2 years. So at 2 years, he's still not with you. He don't want you, girl. Also, because he doesn't live near you, I promise you, listen to me. Look, he has another woman. He has another woman. See, this is the thing. Out of sight, out of mind. You're not the only woman. So therefore, why would he marry you? He got it good. He is using this job, by the way, which is bullshit. That whole, oh, I can't move where you are right now because my job is strictly travel. That's what he's telling you. Any job can be strictly travel, but everybody has to come home. Everybody has to come home. Now, who did they come home to? Did they come home to their dog? Do they come home to their side chick? Or do they come home to you? And most times these men have their own bachelor pad, and they have a woman in this state and in this state and this state. I've seen this done before so much. The fact you are pressuring the wrong thing. What you should be pressuring, if you're going to pressure him, is where he going to live. And why isn't he living with you? Even if he's looking for another house, why can't he live with you in your place for now? Since it's so expensive. You keep throwing that word. It's so expensive. It's so expensive. So what if it's expensive? So what? He's not living with you, and y'all been in a relationship for 2 years. He doesn't want you as a wife. He'll never marry you. I promise you. I promise you, he'll never marry you. Now, if you manage to have a kid by him, that'll be a neat trick. Because this guy sounds like he's going to have his condom level on fleek. You're going to be the last woman he will impregnate. I promise you. You're wasting your time. Stop doing long distance relationships. Stop. You need to go to counseling. You always talking about him. I have not seen anything in this email where you said you're actually going to counseling. You keep attracting men who don't want you for a wife. And then you rationalize it and you stay in it. And then that's when you realize, okay, I'm wasting my time. Stop it, girl. If you're really conservative, which I do believe you are, maybe you just did something stupid about being in a relationship for 9 years. Come on, girl. Maybe 2 years ago you was a liberal. I don't know. And that's the reason why you got that 9-year relationship. But he don't want you as a wife. He'll never marry you. And I don't suggest being no single baby mama, so don't even try to get in a relationship with him. Now, because you love him, you're not going to do that. But remember my words. Remember this. July the 10th, 2021. Remember this 2 years from now, because that's what you're going to do. You're going to give it 2 more years. He still ain't moved in with you. He still ain't moved and bought a house where you live. And he's still telling me something. Yeah, I'm okay with going to counseling, but, therapy isn't for everybody. And I'm not ready to talk about marriage yet. My life is a little hectic. And then you're going to remember, on July the 10th, 2021, Tree was right. Tree said he'll never marry you. If I was you, since he's long distance, I would sit up here and find another guy. Now, listen, if you're in it for, the fact that you can have somebody in your life, I suggest you find somebody else in the meantime and then slowly drift away from this guy if you have a problem with getting rid of him. But he's not going to marry you, girl. Because he don't even live with you. You're not worthy of him living with you. So you're not worthy of him putting a ring on it. He will never marry you. The sooner you realize that, the better off you'll be. And the sooner you will realize that you need to find somebody else. That's my advice. It's never going to happen. I promise you, it's never going to happen.